Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series, the podcast that celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Keith Lewis and Josh Rudelbach are our guests today. Keith is the Executive Director of Visit Carson Valley, and Josh is the Destination Marketing and Data Strategist for Visit Carson Valley. Now, we are really excited that this is a continuation of our project with destination marketing organizations throughout the U.S., and I have really a special place in my heart today because since I live in Nevada, and I haven't yet made the trek up from Las Vegas to the whole Reno and Carson Valley area. I need to do this. But I'm really excited about why should visitors into Nevada make a point of getting up to northern Nevada, like Reno, Lake Tahoe, and the folks that are making the trip, where are they coming from? So who better than Keith and Josh to help navigate this journey with us? So Keith, Josh, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks, Howard. Happy to be here.
Fantastic. Now, I have to ask, you've got that wonderful background. I have clouds in mine, but they look similar. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're the same, but you guys have blue skies up there. And how is it today up in northern Nevada?
So it looks a little bit like my photo. Clear skies, very sunny and warm. Seasonally warm for this time of the year.
Okay, so I have to have my wool sweaters. I'm originally from the Midwest, so right now my blood is thinning. So if it gets in the 50s and 60s, wool sweaters are on. But what's a typical weather day up in your area?
So I think obviously this is warmer than normal, and you do see a little bit of snow. We did get some snow here, but it's quickly already melting. But I think this time of the year, you're probably typically in your 40s, somewhere in there, 40s, lower 50s. So it is unseasonably warm, but
Okay. All right.
yeah.
I think I could live with that. I could live with that. I'm always looking for my next place to live, by the way, just so you know. So Keith, Josh, I'd love if you would each, we'll start with Keith, tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you into this current role as an executive director for a destination marketing organization like Visit Carson Valley.
All right. So again, my name's Keith Lewis, and I have been the executive director for just going over 18 months. I was the former superintendent of schools at Douglas County School District. So I spent my entire career in education, retired in late 2023, and had the opportunity to do something completely different. And so I entered tourism without a whole lot of knowledge. Josh has been a saint to educate me, and we have a fabulous team here at Visit Carson Valley. I'm very fortunate. So that's kind of how I landed here. And it's been like drinking from a water hose, but what a fun thing to do to promote the Carson Valley. So somebody told me, if I can't have fun at this job, I must be the problem. So I would agree.
Since I have been interviewing destinations and even chambers of commerce, we'll include them as well. You all have a great job. I mean, how much fun can it be to attract people into your community? And hats off for that career change. I mean, you still have to herd cats in a way, some ways, but
just less of them.
Yes. Yeah. So Josh, tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had over 20 years of sales management. And after the pandemic, decided that I wanted to make a switch, as a lot of people did. And so I went back to college and was working on a degree in business analytics because operations, logistics, numbers, that always interested me. And as I was finishing out that degree, had an opportunity to come on board with the organization as a contractor. So basically took all of the data products that a DMO has and started learning how they could be used to help further the goals of the organization. And really found that this was kind of an intriguing, enjoyable adventure, and stayed on as a contractor and kind of expanded that role into some research as well. Then once Keith came on board, he was looking for somebody to also manage the marketing partners, and finally just asked me if I wanted the job. So I was already providing all the data analytics and a lot of the strategy for those marketing partners anyway. So he found it was just a natural fit for me as with what I was currently doing. So Yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay.
really enjoy both aspects of it. On one side, I get to be very creative, and then on the other side, it's very analytical and strategic. So it appeals to both sides of the brain, as it were.
That is actually really nice to hear. I love that. And you both have, your niches, Keith from the education background, and you're just used to talking to folks and getting folks motivated like the kids you used to teach, and get, in this case, the visitors coming into the community. And Josh, you've got that data spin as well. And you actually, that's going from the contractor to the full-time. That's definitely a little bit of a leap, but it sounds like it's a very enjoyable one. So hats off to both of you. Now, for our listeners, Keith, Northern Nevada. Okay. And by the way, when I moved to Nevada here, and I'm in Las Vegas now, I never realized how tall of a state it is. And it's not like I can do a 2 or 3 hour commute. I think I'm barely making it to the halfway up the state. But for our listeners, where is the Northern Nevada, Reno, Lake Tahoe, Carson Valley area? How would you describe its location?
So the Carson Valley, I mean, we border California, obviously, and then we describe it as 45 miles south of Reno, 15 miles east of Lake Tahoe. We sit in a beautiful valley, and you see the picture behind me. This was taken 2 weeks ago. I was driving down the road, and there was a hot air balloon. I pulled over, and this is what it looks like. And I tell a story often when I applied to be a teacher here. All I ever thought of Nevada was sagebrush. And I still
Okay.
remember opening that mail, and the flyer was of Genoa, and the beauty, and it just resonated with me like, holy moly, there's green parts of Nevada. And so again, geographically, it's a great place because it has access to Sacramento and San Francisco, very easy drive. Yosemite is a very easy drive. So it sits in a great location where you're a little bit rural, but you have access to other areas.
Okay. And the types of visitors that are coming into the community, and I know you can't miss Lake Tahoe, and it's up there with like the Northern Lights, and seeing the Big Five in Africa is seeing Lake Tahoe. But the visitors that are coming into your community and the towns that make up the community, and actually before I go on, you mentioned Genoa, but what are the other towns that make up this Carson Valley area?
Yeah, there's four primary towns that we have, Genoa being one of them, and it's actually the first permanent pioneer settlement in Nevada.
Okay.
So that's one of our claims to fame is Genoa was first. But Gardnerville, Minden, and then Topaz Lake would be the southernmost city. So for a interesting communities with some very unique histories, and just it appeals to a lot of different travelers. For us, we see people coming in a lot from kind of the backyard, Sacramento, San Francisco, growing population coming up from Los Angeles, some from Las Vegas as well. And then we have some of the further markets. A couple of years ago, we noticed that we had an increase in traffic from Seattle. So coming to our website and then also coming into destination. So in terms of what we're looking at, mainly West Coast, we do get some East Coast and a small percentage of international visitors. But when you take a look at the visitor types, folks that want a little bit more of a relaxed community feel when they come and visit here. If you're coming to party all night, there's places you can go for that. It is not Carson Valley. We want you to come here, be able to just take a beat, take a breath. It's very relaxed, great community feel, just a nice place to kind of slow down.
Okay. Keith, when folks are coming into Carson Valley and any one of these communities to slow down, besides hot air ballooning, which looks like it'd be a lot of fun, and I think I would include that in one of my bucket list items. What are you seeing visitors coming in to partake in, and just to kind of take that slow down, slow tourism, get to know the surroundings? What are they typically coming to enjoy and experience?
So I think we have an amazing trail system here. We have 66 miles of trail. So a lot of hiking and biking on that. I would also, one thing that we promote is wild horse tours. So we have a pretty well managed band of wild horses here in the Pine Mountain Range that people want to come for. And Josh made the point that Lake Tahoe is Lake Tahoe, right? And people, we realize that people are coming to the region for Reno or Lake Tahoe, and it's how do you get them to come for a day trip? And so I think we really recognize that. And obviously Genoa, I would say Genoa is the jewel of the Carson Valley, the history. Not only is it the oldest settlement in Nevada, it's also home to the oldest, what we call Thirst Parlor, also known as bar, the Genoa bar. So lots of history there that it just is like a really small town feel. So I think that brings people here. One thing that people don't know is we're one of the world's best soaring locations. The way the wind comes off of the Sierra Mountain Range, we have Soar Nevada here. That's one of the best glider locations that you can find in the world. So again, I think it's that outdoor activity. And then we have a strong bass culture. I've been amazed in the 18 months that I've been here, how many people travel for culinary. And our JT Bass Restaurant is one of the iconic bass restaurants in the state. As we know, the pecan punch is now the state beverage. Okay. And so people come for just eating at the JT. And we also have a lot of other wonderful restaurants in the area. And one last thing is we're home to David Wally's Hot Springs, which is those people who travel for the hot springs. We have a very, very nice resort here in the valley.
Very nice. And I'm going to ask you both a question later and as you are enjoying time with family and friends, is how do you partake? And I will also, you mentioned food. I'm a big foodie and I care about my coffee. And by the way, I cannot imagine just sitting out on my porch, looking up at the stars or the sunrise and having a great cup of coffee. So that's very important. But yes. When you are marketing to visitors, is it, I know we're going to go to the website shortly and take a tour there, but as you're marketing to visitors, what are you kind of segmenting them by, like you mentioned, the soar and the gliding, the bass fishing, the hot springs, or is it, here's everything we do, let's just plan an itinerary for you? Well, how does that work with Visit Carson Valley?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one, Howard. So when we're marketing externally, so to a lot of those visitors coming in that maybe from over 50 miles away, we have 8 personas that we've created that we feel that people can see themselves in. So when they see one of those ads, we want them to be able to take a look at, say, our photography ad, T Humphrey, and see people wanting to be able to fill that role of taking photographs of wild horses or the raptors here, the eagles during Eagles an Ad, or potentially having a culinary experience with JB and Maria, JT Bask, Cole, who is our soaring pilot that we have as our persona, being able to take one of those flights. So we're not very heavy on the sell. We want people to actually be able to see themselves in those roles and become intrigued with it and then want a visit.
Okay. And I appreciate these, you use the term, I was going to say avatar, but I know that's not the word you used, but personas.
Yeah.
Do you ever get, or have, to use good English, groups coming in, say, to write stories or to, whether it's for various forms of media, and just to take advantage of being here for 2 or 3 days and then go back to your communities and write stories about us? Does that type of activity happen?
I'll go ahead. Yeah. I mean, I think that it just happened on its own. Eagles and Ag is a major event that's a photography event. And so as Josh had mentioned, during the calving season, the Eagles migrate to the Carson Valley, and we have an event called Eagles and Ag that we do photography workshops, and then we take them out on tours. But I shouldn't say the Carson Valley Chamber sponsors that event, but we promote it, obviously. And so they take them out to local ranches to photograph the birds. Obviously, from a journalism side, we host fam tours. So media that come to the area, we set up an itinerary for them, and then they get to experience Carson Valley, go home and write a story. And then with especially journalism, then it takes somebody needing to pick up that article. So we've had situations where they visited, and it wasn't for 2 years later that an article came out that was finally picked up. But that's part of that marketing, is to bring influencers and fam tours to the Carson Valley so they get to experience it. And last year, we really targeted Las Vegas all four of our influencers were from Las Vegas to really try to sell Carson Valley to your current location.
Okay. I think I must have missed that invitation, but I'm not going to hold that against you guys.
We'll get you next time.
All right. So when folks are coming into the Carson Valley region, as they're making this decision on what to do, what types of resources are available team wise to help people? They've got the personas and on the guides that you send out or on the website. You've got a great Facebook page, Instagram page. How are you helping them plan their itineraries?
Yeah. So, as we go through the website, we'll actually take a look at one of those. But we partnered with a company called Mindtrip to be able to offer a technology solution to be able to ask questions 24/7 on our website and be able to get answers that are tailored by both the large language models from AI as well as local knowledge. We can go in there and make sure that the answers that are being provided are correct. So somebody can go and actually build an itinerary based around what it is they're looking for in that chat slide out that we have. We also have some baked in itineraries that we've created just to give some examples. A lot of the blogs are based around itinerary activity and to be able to get more information on specific activities there.
Okay. Now, I appreciate that depth, Josh, and I'm curious, and maybe it's partially you can answer this. Keith, you're the executive director. I know you can answer this. What's the impact of the tourism economy on the whole Carson Valley region, and what are you able to do as a result? Big things, unique things you can do because more and more folks are getting to know the region and coming in. What's been that kind of impact?
Well, I think that really we're a nonprofit, so we're funded almost entirely on bed tax. And
Okay.
so obviously, and what I think a lot of people don't know is that bed tax thing also is split with our Douglas County Community Services. So a lot of the services that we have here in the community, and specifically Parks and Rec, is funded out of TOT. So obviously, again, I had made the comment that we know that Lake Tahoe and Reno are the regional draws. And while bed tax is important, we also understand our place in driving the economy outside of just hotel rooms. And so getting people to come down for the lake for a day trip may not result in a hotel room, but it will probably result in people eating in our restaurants, people shopping in our shops. And so I think I'm proud that we're not narrow focused on that. All it is about is getting people to stay in our hotels. So, that we understand that broader economic impact. So again, I think any visitor that drives down and comes to the Carson Valley has that potential to impact services. And then we invest that money back into marketing. The vast majority of our budget is right back to marketing this area and trying to draw people here. And it's also that balance. I mean, I think the thing I learned right away is that being good stewards, not only of our land, but also our community, that there's a fear, I think sometimes in visitor story that we're trying to get people to move here. And so you have to be real careful of that balance with your community, that they understand how important tourism is to all the amenities that we have. Our restaurants and our shops don't stay open without tourism in our valley.
Yeah. And if I could just dovetail off that real quick, there was a presentation that we were giving at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon. And we were in JT Bass Restaurant, so one of our most popular destinations for visitors coming through. And that was taking a look at the crowd, and he explained to them about the importance of tourism on restaurants. And through the various different data aggregation methods we have, we can see the percentage of folks coming into a location like JT Bass that are visitors. And so I posed the question to the crowd, what would happen if we took away 21% of the people in this room right now? How many servers could they employ if they had 20% less business? How could they stay open the entire time? So understanding the impact of the visitor economy on the local amenities is really important. We have a whole educational campaign that's built around that. That's called Tourism Matters. So resources on our website, articles in the local newspaper. We've gone out to the different community groups like Rotary or Good Governance Group. and it just explained the impact of what it is that the visitors have on the things that we enjoy every day, the amenities that we have.
I love it. I love it. I would love to, if you both would, there's a word I'm looking for. It's 3 o'clock and I'm out of some of the words. I would love it if you would take us on a tour of your website right now, because I
Yeah.
think that's a great way for our listeners to learn more about the whole Carson Valley region. And through the miracle of technology, I'm going to get you all lined up here. And which one of you is the
Who's the driver?
Josh is
lucky
the
driver?
Josh is the driver on this.
You're the driver, and I'm going to be, I think I'm Mr. Sulu or something like that, the navigator. But
And I'll be the backseat driver.
you'll be the backseat. Do this. All right. You are the executive director, Keith. So you get to
He's
play
not
that.
doing it right. I'll tell him to turn somewhere else.
I love it. All right. So Josh, we are on the homepage. By the way,
Yes, sir.
I see now that you had a wonderful Christmas lighting festival just recently.
Yeah. The annual Parade of Lights was fantastic. The largest crowd that anybody can remember since this event has been going on. Yeah, I go through and try to estimate using photos and a little bit of AI massaging and then just some quick and dirty math. And we're probably looking at between 15 to 20,000 people that we had here. And when you consider the entire population of the county is about 45,000, I'd say that some of those were visitors. So I think we accomplished what we needed to with the Parade of Lights at Carson Valley Christmas. But
Excellent.
so typical website design, we have the drop downs up top to take you places. But what I really want to point out, we're talking about that AI planning tool. That's a box over on the right-hand side that says Ask Carson Valley. That is what you would click on to bring up the Mindtrip chatbot.
Okay.
And what's nice with this is this gives you the capability to really ask you anything about Carson Valley. You can ask about what are some of the best places to eat in Carson Valley. And it's going to give you recommendations based upon reviews that have come up and things of that nature. And if you use this bot frequently, if you use the Mindtrip software, it actually starts to learn your preferences. So Howard, as you travel, if you're using this, it would tailor the experience based upon what you've done with it in the past.
Okay.
So super interesting tool. You can build out full itineraries from here. If it needs to link you someplace out of our website, it will do that for you as well, just to make sure that a lot of times I think DMOs are very scared of sending people outside their website because then they lose that traffic. But for us, if we've directed you correctly, you may end up on a restaurant website or onto a lodging partner. And we've done what we've set out to do, which was to get you the proper information to hopefully have you end up here.
Okay. No, I love this. And I have to say, I have never seen this before. So this is, and I've interviewed a lot of DMOs and there's some nice ones out there and some very good websites, but this is brand new for me. And I may even have my business partner go to Jill Lagan, the CEO of the Boulder City Chamber of Commerce, and say, Jill, did you see this? So thank you for that.
And we know Jill, we've run into her in our travels, so that's fantastic.
But this is, this is so much. I love the fact I can do this. I mean, I'm used to the drop downs. Okay, check out food. Then you got the breakfast, food and beverage, the dinner. But I like this. This is nice. And I've got the addresses and links to the website. This is very cool, gentlemen. Well done.
You can just say, I'm traveling to Carson Valley with kids. What would you recommend for an itinerary? And it will, well, that's really why we just recognize too, Howard, that I think of myself, when I'm going to travel, most of my traveling plans is that night. I'm on my computer after work, trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're not here in the office to answer questions. This allows people to have their question answered 24/7 in our absence of being a regular business hours.
This is very cool. And I love you've got all this great information that's available. And you gave me the hint to give me a weekend itinerary. So we're gonna have to spend some time talking and just chit-chatting until this thing takes shape. There we go. So we got morning, afternoon, got the museum, brewing company, the historic park. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. And now I've got the scenic walks to prompt me.
Yep.
Very
Yeah, and
good.
you can, with that tool, you can build out a profile on there, save the itineraries to your profile, and then it lives there for whatever you decide to come take that trip. So it's a great tool to be able to go in and learn about what it is you want to do in a destination before you travel. But
Okay. No, this
yeah,
is very
A
good.
cool thing too is like if you saw a YouTube video of the Carson Valley, saw somebody traveling and wanted to do what they did, you can upload the video and have it build the itinerary out of that video.
yeah.
This is
So
wonderful.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to put a plug in for Travel Nevada. One of our other
Okay.
funding sources is the Rural Nevada marketing grants. And so this was funded through a 50-50. So if they prove it, Travel Nevada pays 50% of it, and then we commit 50% of it. And this was a co-op opportunity with Mind Trip. And so this doesn't happen without the support of Travel Nevada. And they have this built into their website as well now. But I just wanted to put that plug in that they're a big supporter of rural Nevada in our marketing efforts.
No, very nice. No, I appreciate that. And I've been fortunate to meet folks from Travel Nevada over the past couple of years. But as we're just kind of navigating, I was just curious, visitors who are coming into the Carson Valley region, are they, is this a long weekend? Is it a short weekend trip? Is it a week trip? What are you typically seeing when, let's say, families come into the area, they want to spend some time?
yeah, if you were to go through and just take the average of everybody coming in, it's about 2.3 days is what overnight visitor would spend here. So
Okay.
we're getting a couple nights. Typically, it's going to be weekends. You're seeing arriving on a Friday, leaving on a Sunday sort of mentality there. But we do have folks that stay for much longer. David Wally's resort is a perfect example. It's a holiday and vacation club property. And so you'll
Okay.
see people come up, especially that are part of that club, and they'll stay for a week plus because of what they have available through the club offerings there. So it's kind of a mixture. But yeah, just a little over 2 days is our average in terms of overnight stays.
Okay.
And
Now,
the term, well, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead, Keith.
The term base camp is probably overused, but one nice thing about the Reno-Tahoe area is that there are 6 destinations all within 45 minutes of each other. So you've got Virginia City, Carson City, Reno, North Tahoe, South Tahoe, and ourselves. And so it's a great location then to be able to not only spend time in the Carson Valley, but also jump up to Virginia City, jump up to the lake. For the ski season, we really promote that a little more affordable. You can be on the Heavenly Ski Hill in 25 minutes from the valley floor on the backside of Heavenly. And so it's going to be a quieter way of life. When it snows, not as much snow everywhere you're trying to go. But so we really try to sell that in the winter as just kind of a slower option to skiing at Lake Tahoe.
Okay. No, I love that. And it dawns on me, and I don't know if you knew or if I certainly hadn't shared it yet. I'm a member of the Outdoor Writers Association of America, OWAA, and we have annual conferences every year. We also have a new feature, which are regional conferences. Field Fest is what we call it. And it just dawns on me that this entire region is perfect for, say, maybe not the big conference, like maybe it is 300, 400 attendees, but the Field Fest, maybe 50 attendees, and just go from destination to destination and get a little of the fishing, the hiking, the biking, the skiing, depending on the time of the season, obviously. And I just love it. Like, as you just shared, Keith, you have all these destinations within short drives of each other. And that's wonderful.
Yeah. We'd
That's
love to
wonderful.
have a conversation with you about that.
I will send you some information. I'm sure. I mean, this would be perfect for the OWA. So I love this. Josh, anywhere else you'd like to take us to just to kind of showcase some of the website?
Yeah, absolutely. If you go over things to do,
I think I can do that. There we go. I
there
followed
we go.
directions pretty good.
If you'll scroll down to where it says experiences and passports, this is something that
Okay.
we have added this fiscal year into our offerings. And we have digital passports that are available that
Okay.
instead of using the traditional paper brochure, you can do these passports directly from your phone. I know there's
Okay.
many other destinations around the country that do these, but we really see it as a way to be able to have these typical paper brochure options more accessible. So it's not one of those things that's going to go out of print. We can update it as they come, and we can add these passes fairly quickly. So we've started with our first two, have a couple more development, but we have a walking tour experience available in historic downtown Minden, which was Nevada's first planned community. So if you need some history, there you go. But it takes you through all the historic buildings and gives you a nice explanation of what it is that you're looking at there. So a good way to get out and see the destination that way.
Oh, very nice. Oh, look at the flying.
Yeah.
All right.
So
By the
neat.
way, for the OWA, just you set up a tour on the trails, the ride, hike, bike, the flying, wildlife, the horses. I think there's a lot to be had. Fishing, water sports, depending on golf. Is that really a sport? I don't know.
It's a frustrating one.
When I went to Tennessee, not this year, but last year, I had never played disc golf before. Now every golf course has a disc golf course as well. So,
Yes.
but
Yes,
very
they
cool.
do.
This is very cool, gentlemen. This is just the imagery on the website. I mean, a lot of great work has gone into this, and I love that.
Yeah. And we have a wonderful person on staff, Michelle. She's our destination engagement partner that is a fantastic writer. So she has put a lot of effort into updating the blogs. Typically, we'd have to wait for travel writers to come through, potentially give us an opportunity for them to create a blog. But she's taken that over and has just a wonderful way to capture the destination in words. So our blogs are something that's a great place to find additional information.
Okay, excellent.
And
Now,
then I'm going to step in real quick. If you go to events real quick, I want to show you one more thing. So events, we have both, go ahead, the event calendar.
okay,
So if somebody were to be visiting the area, we keep this updated and then you're doing good. Keep scrolling.
okay, come on, for some reason there we go.
There we go. Go right there. So go up a little bit more. There, right there. So this list of like all the major events, so somebody that was visiting could come here to find out what's going on. When I first took over, we were told that we could never pull this off, but we have a downloadable upcoming events, and it's actually an 18-day preview. And we do it every Wednesday. We update it, and it's got the next 18 days of what's happening in the Carson Valley. Again, trying to get forward thinking so that if someone was planning a trip to the Carson Valley, they could come here and then find out here's what's going on. And so that's something that we like to point out as well on our website for planning purposes.
Very nice, very nice. I see that little something's going on behind the scenes here. I love it.
Yeah.
Just to call some extra attention.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you taking us on a tour of the website. Now, I do have to ask for both of you, if I want a good cup of coffee, where am I going to go if I come to the Carson Valley area?
Boy, we do have some choices. We're going to have to do a coffee tour here soon.
Okay.
I'm partial to Coffee on Main, local coffee place that's been in existence for quite a long time during my time here. So I'm partial there. Let you answer that. We've got a lot of other options.
Yeah, that's a tough one. DST and Flutter and Buzz make some fantastic creations that you would not expect. I had one at DST that had sage incorporated into the cup of coffee.
Okay.
It was just fantastic. And then Flutter and Buzz, they're always coming up with the new, I don't want to say concoctions because that makes it sound wrong, but just delectable drinks.
Okay. Very cool. Now,
And if you want something to add to your coffee,
yeah.
this is something that you may not know, is that we are home to Minden Mill Distilling, who is
Okay.
owned by the Foley family, who are the owners of the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh, really?
Well, you knew that. So we have a state distillery here in Minden, the Minden Mill Distilling, and they have just come out with a liqueur, Evil Bean coffee, cold brew
Okay.
coffee liqueur that is a must try that I wanted to talk about in relation to coffee.
Okay. Now, how am I going to find them here? Help me out.
Let's go to Eats and Drinks.
Okay.
Is that where we're going to go, Josh?
Yep, we're there.
Sorry. Okay. And if we go down,
Figure we called them out. We got to show them now.
yeah, let's go to Josh. You might want to lead this. Where are we on drinks?
This is where you step in, Josh.
Yes. Hint, hint.
Where'd my button go? Keep going down a little bit further.
Okay. Drink in the
And
history.
there we go. So you can go to Wine and Brews.
Okay. All right. Battleborn, I've heard of them. Great Basin, I've heard of them.
There's Minden Mill Distillery right there on the right. It's
Right.
state of the art. They do a tour and tasting. It is
I'm there.
Frey Ranch gets a lot of the publicity in the state, but we are also an estate brewery and or a distilling, and it's pretty amazing what they did. These are some of the original buildings in Minden that for years sat just in the middle of town with broken windows. And Chris Bentley, the Bentley family was huge here in the Valley. He put millions and millions and millions of dollars into restoring this into a distillery, and then eventually sold it to the Foley family. And this is their first kind of jump into, other than wine, into spirits.
I love it. I love it. Well, you definitely have me excited to want to come up for a visit more than just a weekend, because I think there's just so much to see. This is fantastic. And look at that Christmas tree. Wow. I want to thank you both for taking us on a little tour. If everything works right, I'm going to stop sharing. There you are. I love this. Before we head out, I am curious for you both to answer this question is, what's been what I would call your aha moments when you have, I mean, you're both relatively new to your roles. What's been your aha moment when it comes to this realization you're promoting this wonderful region, whether it's experiences, whether it's small town feels, whether it's good food, adventure, slow tourism, what's been your aha moments? Keith, let's start for you.
I think that my aha is the realization that people travel for so many different reasons. You think, well, here's a great place for outdoor recreation. And we were at a event recently, and there was a gentleman from the Portland area. He comes here every single year for one reason: to eat at the JT Bass restaurant. And so that was like, oh, wow. People, their purpose for traveling is just food, while mine is what activities do they have for my kids. And so I think that diversity and why people travel has been a big thing for me. And that's why it's so important to really broadly market all the different things that you have available. So
very good. Very good. Josh?
Yeah, gosh, and this actually happened over the weekend. I was at Home Ranch for the holidays. So Dingberg Home Ranch Historic Park, they were opened up for 4 days during the month to show off the historic Christmas decorations from the Dingberg family. So 140 years of artifacts there. So lots of memorabilia that kept, but one of the docents, after he looked at me, he's like, gosh, I know you from somewhere. So I introduced myself, and he said, oh my gosh, thank you for promoting this event. Thank you for what you do to talk about the Dingberg Home Ranch. And this has happened a couple different times out in the community where folks have come up and just thank me for it. I'm like, I almost get a little bit bashful because I'm just doing my job for one, but also what I love to do. But it's making that connection between our efforts and what that means to the community. So we don't care if you're a small business or a large business. It's a small event or a large event. Our job is to let the greater population know that we're out here, we're charming, we're historic, we're a little bit quirky. We're also very relaxed and a great place to come visit, and to have folks recognize you for that it's the aha. It makes you feel really good about what it is that you do each day that you come into work.
Excellent. I love that.
And can I piggyback real quick? 2 years ago, Josh had the concept of Carson Valley Christmas, and you saw that on our web page. And often we were just marketing events or promoting events that were all singular. And Josh had the idea of putting everything under one umbrella and calling it Carson Valley Christmas. And so we had, 13 events this year that fell between now and December 20th. And we promoted it as Carson Valley Christmas. Over the last 2 years, we talked about the parade. We have seen record people turning out. The museum had a gala 2 weekends ago, and they reported the biggest turnout that they've had. And so marketing matters and how you do it. And I think being able to bring everything under one umbrella has been really impactful. So people aren't having to hunt all over the place to figure out what's happening in the Carson Valley. We, through Josh's forward thinking, been able to put it in one place for people.
Fantastic. One more question for you both is, I can't imagine there's anybody that hasn't heard of Reno, Lake Tahoe, the whole area, but if you had to make a 30-second pitch of why the Carson Valley region, what would that be? Keith, let's start with you.
Start with me. I just think the friendliness of the area, one thing that guests that come into our welcome center all the time talk about how friendly people are. And we really sell that to our community when we talk about the importance of tourism. Like that has an impact. How do you treat people that come here? So not only do we have lots of diversity, we have amazing beauty. I travel all over the place, and every time I come home, I'm like, I'm glad I get to call this home. So we've got the activities, we've got the geography and the beauty, but it's the people in the valley that make this place special and make people want to come back.
Excellent. Josh?
Can I just say ditto? You did a
Ditto?
really good
You
job.
can say ditto. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, gentlemen, I think it's just, one is I have to make my plans to come up to this area. I mean, I'm pretty good about getting to 2 or 3 hours north of Vegas, but I really need to make it up there. And by the way, I am remiss, I think in the introduction, I really needed to do a shout out for the Reno-Tahoe territory. They were integral to helping to plan this podcast episode and get me introduced to you guys. And so I want to give a shout out to them as well, because I feel fortunate to be able to sit here and chat about this wonderful region. And I know I need to come up and experience it. I'm going to be like that gentleman that comes in from out of town and eat at that restaurant. I think you've sold me there, and plus get some good coffee along the way. Now,
Please
Keith,
don't
Josh,
come without letting us know.
I
We
will
will
let
know
you
when you
trust me.
come.
I will let you know. I would want to do a couple more episodes while we're up there.
Okay.
And enjoy myself as well. Now, we're going to provide links back to the website. Visit carsonvalley.org. Where else should we take our listeners to, or your listeners to, our listeners to?
Yeah, absolutely. Follow us on social media. We're at Visit Carson Valley on most platforms. Great way to stay in touch with what's going on here. And not just from the events or beautiful scenery. We have some historical information on there. I had a video series that, we got how many episodes into?
About 18 or 19.
Yeah, 18 or 19 episodes into that actually talk about the history of this area and why Carson Valley is important, not just to us, but also to the region and how it connected into the history of the founding of Nevada.
Fantastic. Well, you've sold me, and I am very confident you're going to sell many other listeners to why they need to plan a trip up to the area. Yes, they're going to see the lake, no doubt about that, but there's a lot of beauty 45 minutes elsewhere. And I think you've sold me a wonderful opportunity, 365 days a year, I'm sure. So
They will not regret heading north out of Las Vegas instead of south.
there you go. There you go. Amen to that one. Now, gentlemen, I want to thank you both again for taking time out of your day. And we look forward to sharing this episode with our listeners. And really, I want to wish you both the best. Have a fantastic rest of your holiday season and new year. And I look forward to writing a commitment that I'm going to go and visit your area in 2026. So thanks again for spending time today. It was great to chat with you both.
Thank you. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Okay. Stay on the line, and we're going to do a real quick close and have a final chat. Okay.
Yep.
All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, I want to thank the great folks at the Reno-Tahoe territory. They helped to arrange this great interview with Keith Lewis, the executive director of Visit Carson Valley, and his partner in crime, Josh Rudelbach, destination marketing and data strategist from Visit Carson Valley. Hey guys, I'm going to go off script. This is not a two-man show. How many other volunteers and full-timers to really put on what you guys are offering? How many others are involved?
So we have 3 here on staff. So we talked about Michelle, and then we have tourism ambassadors. We have a group of about 10 that are pretty strong and committed. I will just say we just hosted our first ever event, the Ferris 50 Endurance Run, and we had over 80 volunteers that helped with that event. So when we needed them for a major event, the community really stepped forward to do that.
Very good. I know you guys work hard, but I know there's a lot of other support behind the scenes, and we definitely wanted to give a shout out to them. So thanks for that, going off script with me for just a second. All right, folks, definitely get out there, learn more about Visit Carson Valley, this whole region, the communities that make up all the experiences that are available to you. Their website, we had a nice little tour, visitcarsonvalley.org. We're going to provide a backlink to it as well as to the Facebook and Instagram pages. As for our access to our podcast episodes, this, along with all the other destinations we have been interviewing, you can find us on the OutdoorAdventureSeries.com. You can also find us on our Facebook and LinkedIn pages, Outdoor Adventure Series. The video of this episode will be up on our YouTube channel. And of course, while you're touring around the Carson Valley region, you can listen to this podcast episode wherever you get your podcast from. We look forward to sharing not only this episode, but others within the Northern Nevada region, again, through our partners at Reno-Tahoe territory. And we're excited to be able to provide those later on in the year. Okay, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a fantastic day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care.